Hello again. My name is Ethan Sitler, and this is my walkthrough presentation for Project 3 in, game design and interactive media. I am the programming head of our four-person group. That's me, Hayden, Scher, Taylor, Arnett, and Donovan Martin. I didn't highlight their names in the right order. I don't have a costume for this game like the other one, because this is sort of a spooky themed game. So we are inspired by this war of mine in many ways, mainly just resources and how you interact with the world, the sort of movement and theming mechanics and all that stuff. And I'm going to show you that when we start the game. Game's called Echoes from the Ward, and I'm hoping that I checked the right box in Zoom to let you hear the game when I play it. But if not, I'm very sorry. Okay. So this is sort of a vertical slice of a theoretical game, which we would complete, which means this is not very long, but we wanted to make it very artistically detailed and mechanically sound. So here we go. So it's A and D to move. This is me, and then this is my cell buddy, and he is not doing so hot. He wants some health, and since my inventory is empty, I have nothing to give him. Inventory is on space, by the way, if you're playing with me. So there's not much else in here. Yeah, walls stop you, stuff like that. The things a programmer is proud of, you know. But there is this nightstand with a little note that says 6563. Don't be out in the hallway for too long. I saw someone out there I used to know from forever ago. It really hurt my head. I ran off and he left when the lights came on. And then there's some deranged doodles that only a psycho would put down on paper. So this fella who wrote such a note isn't doing so well. And he had a traumatic run-in the hallway, so let's get out there. So here's the hallway. It's sort of the scavenging section of the game. As you can see, I picked up a flashlight at the start. Uh-oh, there's a ghost. So I hope you can hear the audio. Donovan found a very spooky sound for the ghost. I'm gonna try to avoid him without getting hit by going in here. Okay. When you're out in the hallway, here's your stress meter, and it goes up these three thresholds. I didn't get hit by the ghost, so I couldn't show you, but I'll show you in a second. If you get hit by the ghost, you get shunted to the start of the next threshold, and the only way to take it down is by noshing on some pills. I hope you can see that that line is still there, because Zoom is hiding it from me. So let's keep scavenging. Oh, a med kit. That'll be useful because our good buddy needed a med kit. Now, there's going to be a ghost out here eventually, but now we're going to try and best him with the tools that we have. And this too. And well, before he shows up, let's search this. Oh, more pills. Excellent. Uh-oh. So, the hint from the first room is that the ghost leaves when the lights come on. So I'm gonna flick on my flashlight. Bang. Dead. Got him. 9-6. That's weird. Oh, he's back. That's why we have so many batteries. The flashlight won't come on again because it died. Wait, I'm gonna get hit. Oh, now I'm at the start of the crazy threshold. I gotta get in quick. Here's the keypad to the end of the game. You can see you can input numbers to the string, and then when you hit enter, it'll check it against the correct string. But I only know 9-6. I don't know any of the other numbers, so we're just gonna go back. Oh gosh. To stay alive, I have to use this. Bang. I just make him drop the note every time. My crazy meter's almost full, so I'm going to down my last set of pills. And we're going to use the med kit on this fine gentleman. Ugh, 13 comes last. Okay, so this is the walkthrough, so I'm going to tell you it's 9613. And I knew from the start. I was lying to you about not knowing the code before. I got you on this one. We don't have any more pills, so we got to run away from this guy. Try to... Okay. He's out of there. So 9613. Let's get it. Boom. We're in the office. I was thinking about putting a freaky ghost in here, but there's not really a point. And if you died in here, it would be really sad. So let's just view table. You win. Thanks for playing. That's the credits as was recommended to put in the game. GDIM goats. And there's no events thanks to this page, so that's it. That's the game. So let me talk a little bit about this war of mine. We very much liked the survival research management stuff. So like scavenging items in this sort of risky phase and then taking it back to this sort of safe phase where you have to make these challenging decisions to use them. Of course, it's hard to make a bunch of engaging, challenging decisions for your game if you only have four items that do anything. So we just decided to make the med kit a sort of goal, a midpoint of the midpoint of the game goal that you have to grab, bring back, help this guy, and then he lets you get to the end of the game, at least one half of the end of the game. And then to make the combat something that you need to interact with, we made the ghost give you the other half, so it's 9-6 and then 1-3. Um, yeah, so this is sort of we were formed as a sort of story heavy group. Let me just restart. So we formulated this whole game, and then we wanted, in our limited time, to make sure this had some story. So that's what this note is for. Um, and that's what Buddy is for, to sort of get you engaged in his sort of lore. Let me show you what happens when you go too crazy. Let this ghost hit me. Look, boom, threshold reached. And I'm gonna grab these pills just 'cause I'm bored. A ghost spawns in here every 15 seconds, except if you're out of the room, he leaves you alone for that wave. So let's get hit again, up to the next threshold. This is supposed to look sort of like scribbles because it is visually similar to the scribbles that are on this. I just wanted to make it sort of contrast. Taylor's really cool storybooky paintbrushy style from what's it called? Adobe Premiere. Oh, wait. And blacked out. And we wake up in here again. I could have made that take longer to give it more impact, but we wake up in here again, basically. I didn't want there to be too much setback, because the main thing in this game is figuring out what all the items do, and I think it's more fun, as long as you know the controls, to sort of experience them each yourself. That's why you get multiple of these kinds of items, so you can kind of waste one and not be totally screwed. This War of Mine kind of lets you be totally screwed a lot because they want your run to end a couple times before you get too far in their game and everybody can't be happy because there's a war going on. But anyway, yeah, basically you just kind of get sent back to the start of the room and you keep the stuff that you've gathered. This is a really short vertical slice, but I think the art is really polished and I'm very proud of it. And I'm very proud of our group. The sounds, by the way, are all Donavon. He found appropriate stock sounds for everything, and they're great. He edited them together in Audacity to make them more usable. He's our sound designer. Yeah. So this was released 35 minutes ago, which is the best I've ever done on a GDIM deadline. All right. Thanks so much. I'll see you in class.